And then I travelled back to uni and I literally knocked out on the bed. I was sleeping for so long. I couldn't move, I had no appetite, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. I was just straight knocked out. And then there was a day where I couldn't smell. My taste was gone. And I was like, yeah, I got COVID. I went to get tested and it came out positive. I'm like, this can't be happening. Why is it the month where my test is coming up soon, I've got COVID? And I've never had COVID before. So I'm just thinking, what is happening? Is this meant to be like, I was so stressed. And then that was the 6th when I got the text that, yep, I've got COVID, so I had to isolate for 10 days. So my isolation I was coming out on the 16th. So I told my instructor that, yeah, I won't be able to have lessons. So now I'm thinking, I've gone back to square one. With the lessons I'm missing, I felt like I was losing my skills, gone back to square one, I don't know what I'm doing. And then after my isolation had finished, it was literally on the 16th. Then on the 18th, Pass Me Fast decided to get back to me literally 4 days before my test. And I'm just there like, how am I supposed to fit 20 hours in 4 days? So the instructor comes and we arranged a time, and then he's like, oh, sorry, can we move the time to a different time later on the day? I was like, okay, cool. People run late. I was like, that's calm. Very understanding. So now he comes, and the instructor I had before was a petrol car, and this instructor was a diesel car. So it was like, there's a slight difference in how you start the car. It was also a manual. And then this instructor from Pass Me Fast was telling me, you know what, I feel like you should move your test date. Because me, I felt like I was so confident that, yeah, let me just go with the test. I'm gonna go ahead. If anything, there's 2 outcomes. 1, I either pass, or 2, I fail and we go again. But to whole move it, I don't know what the outcome was going to be if I didn't take the test on the day. So I was just ready for whatever was gonna come. So I'm now thinking, what's going on? Like, why is it telling me to move it? And then I'm just confused. I just couldn't think. I was there like, do I do it or do I not? I've just got 2 voices in my head. Go ahead, don't do it. Go ahead, don't do it. Because I'm thinking, if I move it forward and I fail when I move it forward, it's going to be another long time to wait for a next available test. Just in bed, constantly on my mind. I couldn't think. Anyone talking to me, I just zoned out, just constantly think about it, what to do. And something just told me, you know what, let me just consider moving it. So it was the next day. I was meant to have a lesson with the instructor. He's driving from Birmingham, and if you know, Birmingham's like a one long motorway road. So he said it's going to be running late, which again, calm, understandable. And then he says he cancelled, saying sorry, I've turned around, gone home, which doesn't make sense. And I'm just thinking, it's just been very inconsiderate, since the test is literally less than 3 days now. To fit 20 hours, it's not going to make sense. So I called the company to try to get a refund and just tell them the situation, that he's not being considerate, he's just cancelling last minute, just all over the place. So they go ahead and say, yeah, that's fine, we'll issue you a refund. Just send me screenshots of proof of him cancelling, which I went ahead and done, and then agreed on that refund. They literally agreed to refund me the money. And till this day, let me show you, till this day, Saturday 15th of January, they have not refunded me. I've been calling every day, every single day, and they haven't refunded me. That's another story, that's just a long story. One thing, I don't know, I'm just going to be real with you guys. If you're considering doing a crash course, don't go Pass Me Fast. They promise you to have your test date soon. They'll promise you to give you an instructor soon, but you'd actually just be waiting and just wasting your time. considering what they tell you, it's just a different story. Through my experience, I just don't want any of you to go through that where they'll promise you something then you don't get it. So from my experience, I just wouldn't advise passing it fast. So yeah, now it's coming to like 2 days and he's literally cancelling still, which was just so annoying. Just told myself, I'm just gonna go ahead. Like, I just had to talk to myself and be like, look, anything happens, it happens. When I tell you guys, it was, oh my days, it was so stressful. Like, every time I was sitting there, I was zoned out. People like, just go for it. Part of me just didn't want to go for it. And then I just had to knock into my senses, like, you know what, let me just go, go for it. Whatever happens, happens. We're all humans, all make mistakes. Like, I just kept reassuring myself, like, okay, this is gonna be good, it's gonna be okay. And I shot a little video of like, okay, test dates tomorrow. It was just, I felt sick. Like, I just wanted it over and done with.
I'm excited for my test tomorrow. I'm excited, it's good.
Yeah, so I just wanted it over and done with. So the day before, I was just trying to get my mind off things. I was painting, listening to music, watching other videos, watching other people's experiences, and it reassured me, like, it just kept me calm because we're only human, and what I'm thinking is very powerful, because if I start thinking this, I'm only just going to project that and only attract that. So I just started positive thinking, I just prayed to God, and I literally left it in his hands, like, whatever happens, Lord, I'm gonna have to just face what's gonna happen. So now I wake up and I'm ready. I don't even eat breakfast like that. I tried to force myself to eat something, because watching videos, they said at least eat something so you have some form of energy, drink some water. I just tried to stay calm, what was comfortable. And then my test was at 9:17, and at 8 o'clock we scheduled to have a driving lesson just before the test. This was with Drive Johnson, so passing fast was completely out of the picture at this point, because I'm just trying to chase up the refund. And then my instructor was running late, and he's never disappointed. It's just today just felt a lot. It was going to 8:15 now. I'm just thinking that time is ticking, and I'm just like, what is going on? It's now 8:30 and it's still not here. And then my mum comes from work, I'm just there like, it's not here. I was literally going to take my mum's car and drive to the test centre and use the car for the test. And then if we were, in the next 10 minutes wasn't here, so I'm literally texting him saying, is the lesson still on? And he's like, yeah, it is, I'm making my way, I'll be down in a few minutes. I'm just like, okay, cool, waiting. I'm just there thinking, what is going on? Something is really trying to weigh me down and make me not go for this test, because why is everything happening so sudden? And yeah, today of all days, like, why is he late? And yeah, okay, now we drive, he comes now, I'm just like, okay, there's no room for me to be all upset, like, why is he late? I'm just like, my head is just focused on getting this test over and done with. So now time is limited. He's like, okay, cool, what do you want to work on? I was like, can we just go over the maneuvers? So we go to an area where there's car parks, so practice the maneuvers. It's morning, so I get a bit of a feel of how the test is going to be. And my mind was just everywhere. My mind is everywhere. My parking was off, reversing was off, I was in the middle of the lines. Oh, speed, yo, it was just, he literally asked me, how do you want to do? And she told me, yeah, I think I'm gonna fail, like, this is not it, like. And then he just told me to breathe, take it easy. And then now, the test centre where I did it was on Coventry, so the bays are really tight and at an angle. So when we got there, he kind of guided me how to do it quickly. So it's like, cool, when we go in, I'm just gonna quickly tell you to park in one of the bays as one of the maneuvers. So we get there, teaches me how to do it, because it was quite challenging. So I managed to get it in, open the door, check, calm. And then I'm waiting now for my examiner. I had a lady, which made me feel much more at ease. And she came in, she was wearing glasses and like sunglasses to block me looking at her. because once she looks in the mirrors, she detects like danger or hazard coming up. And she comes in, asks details, balls and everything, and then we go off. So we come out, and then she's literally just talking to me, just talking. I was not scared. I was really not scared. I would say I was more scared driving with my instructor than the actual examiner. I felt some sort of like heaviness just leave my shoulders. I felt so relaxed. I was just driving, checking my mirrors, doing the checks and all that. And she was asking, oh, what do you plan to do when you finish, like after the test? I said, oh, I just plan to get my nails done, get ready for my birthday and all of that. And then she was like, oh, that's nice. And I was just asking her, oh, how many other people have you examined? She's like, they do about 7 people a day or something like that, and just chilled vibes. And then now I'll come back to the test centre. She's like, as you maneuver, I can just park in one of the bays. And the exact one my instructor instructed me to do just before my test at the same spot I parked on, and I managed to tackle it. So it was a good job that we ran through that before the test. Yeah, and then she goes through everything, and then drive back home. And I was just so excited. It just felt like a dream because all that hassle led to me passing. No problem without a solution. And I just felt like, despite what was going on, the instructor counselling, COVID hitting me, I still pushed through no matter what. And that's only God that could have done that. God really kept me under his wing. He really protected me and guided me through everything, because the amount of times I just wanted to give up, but I still pushed through with the strength and guidance of God. Just thank you so much. So yeah, I literally left it all to God. So those that are looking to do their practical driving test or looking to redo it, here's a few advice and tips that may help you. So on the test you can have 15 minors, and if you repeat 3 of the same one, it's a fail, and if you get 1 major, it's an automatic fail. So I would advise you to choose the right instructor, because you can be assigned to an instructor but you don't get along. That way you're just getting nowhere. If you're comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to perform the best, if you get what I mean. So really, and there's nothing wrong with wanting a new instructor or requesting for a new one, because at the end of the day, you're there to learn, you're there to be comfortable, because when you're comfortable, that's when your true self, your true element will come out. With the right instructor, get the right amount of hours and lessons, because some people may feel like they're confident, oh, I need 5 hours, but they actually need more, or you might overestimate it and actually give yourself 30 hours, but in reality you only need 10. So back to finding the right instructor, they'll be able to analyse and assess you correctly for the right and correct amount of hours, because you really don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste your money as well. And alongside that, try practice outside your lessons if it's possible. Like, I've got friends, family, ask them to help you drive around, do small trips, shop, small errands, really get you familiar to the roads and the car, because driving an instructor has a different effect with driving a family. Family, you're more comfortable, you're talking, and that way you're multitasking a lot more, like driving, talking, laughing, you're just more comfortable. And that's the reality when you actually pass with driving. With the instructor, once you assign yourself to a test centre, do mock tests around the area. So with big roundabouts, you know how to tackle them or face them. So it's nothing new. You're not shocked or you're not surprised. Like, also practice your show me, tell me questions. Show me how you demist the front window, and then tell me how you check if the brake lights are working. So really get to know them, because you're gonna get asked, and it can get asked any one of them. Also, understanding your majors and minors is going to be key, because you want to not overwhelm yourself. You do one minor but you think it's a major, and then you start panicking. You're not necessarily okay, cool, that was a minor. Keep going, because you've got 15 other chances with the minors. When you get to the test center, make sure to be on time, because prior to the test you're gonna be told to read a number plate from far, and if you can't read it or you get it incorrect, you can't go ahead with the test. Make sure you're on time, because if you're not, the test could also be cancelled. Again, don't assume you failed. So that's why it's important to know your minors and your majors, because once you've got a few minors and you assume you failed, you're going to become so reluctant and so relaxed that, yeah, I failed, but you really haven't, and then you start not performing well, and then you make yourself actually fail. Also, another thing is, don't be afraid to ask your examiner to repeat something if you haven't heard them, because the last thing you want to do is make a rookie mistake because you thought you had them say that but you didn't. Just be like, sorry, I didn't hear you, can you repeat that please? And they have no problem repeating it, because at the end of the day, you're doing your test, you're panicking, you're going to be scared, you're not going to hear it, there's so much going on, so them repeating it, so just understand that you're confident, you want to hear them, you want to know what to do, because you're still observing and you still want to listen, so your observations will be more better and more clear. Exaggerate your mirror checks. If you see a hazard and you look in the mirror, that indicates to the examiner that you see a hazard approaching. So if you do your proper mirror checks, they'll understand that you know the hazards on the road that are going to come up, that are going to occur. So really exaggerate those mirror checks. Just check here and there, just make sure, just check all around. And also with parking, there's another thing that my instructor told me, that when you park, you need to physically look at the back mirror, back window, the rear, the back mirror, the back window, physically turn and look, otherwise you can actually fail. So also exaggerate on that too, because sometimes you can feel like you checked, but if you just do that, sometimes it's proper exaggerate. You have to exaggerate so they know that you're careful and you're cautious. And also make sure to look ahead, like beyond what you see, and anticipate anything that's going to happen. For example, if there's a zebra crossing, just make sure you see the people, because anything can change like in a split minute. You can check the zebra crossing is clear, next 2 seconds someone comes run, so just be ready and to anticipate that. Okay, just always look ahead. Mirror checks, mirror checks, mirror checks, and in built up areas, keep your speed up to the limit, because if you drive too slow, that's also be considered a fail. And be confident, keep calm, and just once again, I'm just gonna keep exaggerating. Mirror checks, mirror checks, mirror checks, and just keep calm. Remember to breathe and stay calm. So yeah, I hope I've got everything that I need to say, and all the best to you guys that are taking the test. If you've got any more questions, feel free to DM me or text me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you. Like I said, thank you guys.